All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Go With The Flow. I'm your host, Folarin Okulaja, here with another special guest in the building. But before we get to my guest, I got to say the usual things. Like, subscribe, retweet, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. And yeah, this is Go With The Flow. We're trying to grow this thing. I have a special guest here with me on this rainy Saturday morning. We have Mike Press here. Mike, entrepreneur, founder, soul cycle instructor, podcast host, former college athlete. The man does it all. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Yo, man, I appreciate you having me, yo.
And it's a very funny story about how this episode even came about. So, literally, like a month ago, I was recording, even one day before that. So, I usually record on Saturday mornings.
Okay.
On a Friday after work, I was walking home, and your store, which we'll get much more into, 24 New York, it's on my walk home from work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking, I literally look to my right, I'm like, oh, this brand looks dope. Let me pop in, see what it's about. Love the item, so I got a hat and I got a t-shirt, or not a t-shirt, like a tank.
Mm-hmm.
Wore the hat on the podcast the next morning. Post a clip of the podcast and somebody comments and he tags you in it. He's like, yo, Mike, is this your brand? Or 24 New York,
Yeah.
This like fire brand. I just see the names like Pablo something. I'm like, I don't think anything of it. We text, we connect,
Mm-hmm.
and then we plan this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm out at a party like a week later, and this guy walks up to me and he's like, yo, Folarin, Flo. And I'm like, hey. who are you? I don't recognize the dude. And he's like, bro, remember, like, we met at Cornell 5 years ago. And so this was a guy so I got into Cornell senior year of high school. They have
Hold on. The name dropping on the colleges is crazy.
That's not hold on. It's a part of the story. It's a part of the story.
The name dropping on the colleges is crazy.
It's a part of the story. I also got into, no, I'm playing.
Right. Right.
Let me go down the whole list.
Right.
But and so there was an acceptance students day and you go and you stay the night.
Mm-hmm.
This was a guy who we met that day and we actually had lunch together. We spent a good amount of time together, but that was the last time I ever spoke to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't think I'd ever connect with the guy again.
Yeah.
And so at this party, he's like, oh yeah, I was the one. First of all, do you remember me from Cornell? I was like, wow, I actually do. And two, I was the one who commented on the post that you posted to let Mike know that you're wearing his brand.
That's cool.
So that was just the most random, like, small world, full circle moment where this kid I met 5 years ago, I never thought I would see.
At Cornell.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not that guy. Don't do that. I'm not,
But
damn.
you are.
Yeah, maybe a little bit. And so I think that's just one of those stories so shout out to Pablo. Shout out to
thank
you for,
Pablo.
You made this episode happen, and one, the power of the internet, which I love because, again, it brings people together like this.
Mm-hmm.
And again, small world moment where someone you don't think you would interact with again,
Right.
you do meet them in person.
Mm-hmm.
But I've said a lot. Welcome to the show, Mike. Tell the people who you are. Give them your background.
So, guys, my name is Mike Press. I'm from Mount Vernon, New York. Most people would consider that upstate New York. It is not. Just got to put that out there. I've always been a guy that has done a lot of things. Like even as a kid, I was always playing 4 or 5 different sports. Got into this life of entrepreneurship by accident. Had an idea with my partner and we kind of brought it into fruition. But before all that, I ran track in high school. That was probably the first time in my life where I had to understand what a setback really means. I had a heart murmur. So my senior year, every year since I was a freshman, I played soccer in the fall, played basketball in the winter, ran track in the spring. I did that all 3.5 years, right? So my senior year, same thing. Play soccer in the fall, do basketball, and then I was going to do indoor track, which I never did, always did outdoor. And for the first time, for whatever reason, my school wanted to do physicals. I'm like, why y'all messing with the wheel? It ain't broken. What y'all doing? So they do a physical on me, and they notice that my heartbeat is not normal. I'm over here like, it's pretty normal to me because I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm doing just fine. But they took precautions because there was a kid that passed away on a track that summer. And they were like, we can't let you run. I'm like, what do you mean you can't let me run? Like, this is what I do. This is what the school is known for because of what I've done these past 3.5 years. What do you mean? You let me do everything else and you want to take the one thing I need?
Yeah.
So I've had conversations at the time with Baylor down in Texas, and at the time my event was 400 hurdles, one lap around the track, running, jumping over hurdles the whole time, and my best time at that point in time was 57.9.
Is that good? I'm not a track guy. I don't know.
All right, so think of it like this. Right? Think of it like this. It takes you 60 seconds to do something, right?
Yeah.
I could run the whole track and jump over hurdles at the same time.
Okay, so you're fast. Okay,
under 60 seconds.
Got it.
Okay.
Fast. Yep.
And Baylor wanted me to get my time down to 54, to 54 seconds.
Okay.
Because when you now take the hurdles out, that means you need to run one lap around the track within 46 to 50 seconds. So that's how they kind of like maneuvered everything. Basically, I didn't get to do none of that. And, I had to figure out like what I was going to do for college, what I was going to do for whatever, because I was riding so much on that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like where it all started.
But I mean, that is, I bet you are not thankful, but I'll say, yeah, thankful that the heart murmur was detected, because much better to see that there's something going on and like try to prevent any future issues rather than, God forbid, something else bad happened at the time. Or I see your face, you're looking at it differently.
I still have the heart murmur.
Oh wait, so okay, again, I'm not a medical guy. So a heart murmur is not something that goes away. You just kind of have to, so you can live with it?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm still here.
Interesting. But you're still able to exercise and do everything perfectly normal.
I never had anything stop. I never had anything where I had to be like, oh man, this don't feel right.
Oh, never. Interesting. Okay, because anything related to the heart just sounds scary. So you said heart murmur, I was like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're still with us.
Right. But nah, man, it was just something that, like, if you ever watch Friday Night Lights, the whole booby scene was like, that was me. I was tearing up doctors' offices. I was punching holes in walls because they were taking something from me that they didn't need to take, but they felt that they needed to. And, I think it taught me a lot about resilience, and that you throw something at me and you think you can tear my walls down or tear me down. It only lasts for a few seconds.
Yeah, and I mean, setbacks are part of life, and we'll get through your journey and your story and how, again, they never stop. I'm 24 years old. I've had many setbacks, but it's all about how you respond.
Yeah.
So you ended up going on to college to run track, correct? Oh, no. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Wait, so when did I must have read your background wrong. When did you had a knee injury at some point?
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, yeah. So when I went to, I had to find a college to go to.
Yeah.
So my first college that I went to was Johnson & Wales University. Most people know it as a culinary school, but they had a sports administration program that I was interested in. They were trying to build a football team, right? It's a brand new school. It had to take time. So they built this football team. It was like a Division III thing, right? Playing in a game, dude tackles me at the ankles, right? But I was able to still stay stable. I get one foot out. Dope. I'm out. Turn one way. My knee sounds like a bag of chips, just like crunched together, right? And I'm like, oh no. And I'm thinking, I'm fine. I just cracked a knuckle.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be back. And I jumped up and my knee gave out and I collapsed down.
Damn.
So, like, when you tear an ACL is kind of like stacked like this, right? And in the middle of it, you have a meniscus. Tore that out, tore the ACL. So basically, my ACL is like this. There's nothing there. They just doing whatever.
Yeah.
When they decide they want to give out, it just gives out.
Yeah.
So then that happened, and I was just like, I'm back. Mind you, this is the track thing happened in, let's just say, May of 2004.
Okay.
This football thing happens in October of 2004.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So this was senior year of high school to freshman year of college?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Very, very soon after. Okay.
So I'm back in somebody's office and they're like, you're going to have to learn to walk again. No, I'm not. I already did this already.
Yeah.
So then another setback again,
Yeah.
right? Of being like, okay, now I have to deal with this whole thing. So I'm 38 now, and I've never had an ACL injury, surgery.
Oh, even after that injury, you didn't have to have a surgery?
No, I just didn't do it.
Okay.
Right.
Honestly, hey, I'm not a doctor. You seem like you walking fine. You seem like you're okay. Hey man, I got.
Now trust me, there's certain things that I can't do. Like I'll never figure. I was playing like Dance Dance Revolution one time. Yep, knee gave out.
Can you go skiing? Do skiing?
We don't try.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Because I was about to say, I know that's what I.
Last thing I'm trying to do is be locked into a skis or a snowboard and my knee give out and I'm just there.
Yeah, I mean, even when you go skiing, it's such a dangerous. I went 2 weeks ago, and I keep grabbing my knee because I had one bad fall, twisted my knee, and I'm like, something's not right here.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna walk it off. I'm a big walk it off guy. So that's why I was wondering. I'm like, if you have the ACL, you've had the ACL problem. I'm wondering if skiing would be a problem.
Yeah, lateral movements are the thing that is the main place of where something could happen.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So fast forward a little bit, you have that injury.
Yeah.
What was first for you right after college? Because I didn't even say this at the start. Mike has a streetwear brand, 24 New York. And so this was the store that I said that I walked into, repping the shirt right now. This is you're wearing the hat. You're actually, and the too.
Everything I usually wear is probably from the store.
Yeah. So we're gonna work our way there. But what was first for you right after college?
So right after college, let's just go senior year of college. I was working for the NFL with the Carolina Panthers, and I wanted to do something within communications. So I was the guy that would do interviews pre-game, draft days, after the game, everything like that. You know, with the microphone, like, you really messed up today. How you feel about it? And there was just a glass ceiling. Like, there was nothing that could really be done. So I packed it all up, graduated, came back to New York, and just jumped into modeling somehow. And from 2011 to 2019, it was between three things. I modeled, I acted, and I taught at SoulCycle.
Okay. And what did you think is that kind of the path that you thought you would be on right after college? And kind of what was the mindset when you probably had some goal for after college and then you weren't on that path? Was that a little bit of not a mind fuck, but how was that thought process from not doing what you thought you would be doing to then you're back in New York City modeling, acting, teaching SoulCycle?
So when I first came back, this is what made me even jump into the modeling thing. I did a Beyonce video called Best Thing I Never Had, where I play her boyfriend.
Oh, like you were in the music video?
Yeah.
Oh, so you met Beyonce?
Yeah, we was holding hands and shit.
Oh, wow. I need to... Wow. Okay, I need to do my research. Well, okay. Casual. You said I'm name dropping. Okay, go ahead, Beyonce.
But I did that, so when I came home, it was kind of like it's kind of like the typical kind of like movie thing, right? Where you have this dope thing happening and you're sitting on the couch at home with nothing, right? Oh, yo, I just seen the video. I mean, a peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah, I was about to say, how much do you even get paid from something like that? I'm guessing.
Get paid like one day, I got like $500 for it.
Yeah, it's not life changing.
It's not, but people think it is.
Yeah, unless you're a video vixen, and sometimes it could change your life. But
right,
right.
I'm no vixen.
Yeah.
But it was just like, okay, if I can get that on my very first one, and I'm watching, and and when I went to the casting, I'm looking at all the dudes I seen in the magazines. I'm looking at all the dudes that I'm seeing in campaigns. And there was this one guy, his name is Pierre Woods, classic, like old school model dude. He done Polo, Ralph, Macy's, everything, right? I seen this dude everywhere and I'm like, I want to be him. He walks out as I'm walking in. And literally I just said,
I'm not getting this shit.
I ain't getting this. Nope. And I got it.
Wow. Okay.
So it just let me know. I was like, all right, cool. There's something in this entertainment world.
Yeah.
If I'm able to get this first, what else can I get?
What was it like holding Beyonce's hand?
Yo, it was.
This is what year was this? She was Beyonce at that point. She was already big time.
So this was 2011, 2012.
Oh yeah, so she's already massive. Yeah.
Yeah, she's already big at this point. This is like Crazy in Love, like around that time.
Yeah.
It was pretty chill. It was her mom that was different. Her mom like made the calls. It was like, you can't sit in this room. Everybody left.
Damn. Okay.
She had a I wanted to wear this like the wardrobe they had was crazy. Everything was like Prada and like Gucci and all this stuff, right? Because it was a prom scene, so we all had to dress up. And there was this all pink Prada suit that I saw, and I was like, I want to wear that. And some kid had already picked it up. That was an extra. And when I went to the stylist, she was like, no, you can't have that. You got to pick something else. And so her mom came to me and was just like, hey, did you find everything okay? And I was like, yeah, I really like that pink suit over there. But, you know, they said they already got it. She literally just looked over there and said, pink suit. I was like this. Cool.
And so you wore the pink suit?
I definitely wore the pink suit.
Hey, I can't wait to look this video up. That's good. Wow, what a fun fact. That is, do you, whenever you tell a fun, when you're meeting someone new, you do an icebreaker, is that the fun fact that you go to?
I never do that, man. I don't do it, yo.
Why not? That's a very fun fact. You were in a Beyonce music video and you held her hand.
Because people find it. Like, I don't know how you didn't find it.
I was about to say,
you didn't find it.
I was like, my research for this episode was shit. Apparently,
general questions to ask about my friends. Nah, but it's like I just think it's like one of those things where nobody believes it, right? So I just let people find it, and then when they find it, I'm like, yeah, that was me.
That was me. Okay,
that was me.
Amazing. Yeah, first synopsis. I'm gonna look that up. Okay, so you do that for a couple years. Fast now. Get me to 24 New York. When did you come up with the idea? How did it come to fruition? Just kind of talk me through the initial steps that you were at earlier in your career to then finding this streetwear brand.
So I met my partner through SoulCycle. I've been a SoulCycle instructor for like 8 years. And during the time of when they transitioned from in studio to on demand, meaning online, I met my partner, my business partner, and we connected and spoke basically like every day, just on different stuff. I was learning from her, she was learning from me. And she goes to this event and she says, hey, I have this idea and I want to try it out. Will you come do a show with me, like a sneaker show? I said, no. I said, no, I'm not doing that. Convinces me to go. 24 New York's aesthetic starts from a free throw contest.
Okay.
We would bring a basketball hoop to sneaker shows where, they rent out a convention center and people just sell, buy, trade sneakers and clothing. We bring a basketball hoop in there because we thought, you know what, these shows are cool, but there's no entertainment. There's nothing for people to do outside of that. Yeah. So how can we bring entertainment to this? What's the one thing that connects to sneakers, culture, and everything? It's basketball. Yeah. So we come up with this idea of doing a free throw contest where people would pay $20 and whoever won the free throw contest won a pair of sneakers. Second place winner gets $100 cash. Very first event we do, Bronny James comes. When Bronny James comes, he challenges, like he does the contest, but then there's a girl that comes up. Her name is Never Miss Allie. And Never Miss Allie was pretty big on TikTok for challenging people to just anything, like with regards to shooting, and she would always win. Challenges him, he loses, they do like a sneaker exchange because they play for each other's sneakers. And that's how it started. And we left there being like, okay, let's see where this goes. Yeah. So we continue that. We continue that.
But how does how does that free throw contest and you going to the sneaker conventions, how does that translate to you then wanting to start a streetwear brand? Okay.
There's only so much that you can do with a free throw contest before people feel insecure about them playing basketball and they don't want to spend the money to do it. And it's a lot of factors. So it's like, how can we keep our name still going within this culture, but still it can attract other people that have never seen us before? Okay. So the only thing that we thought of was, okay, let's open a sneaker store.
Okay.
We opened the sneaker store in December 12th, 2023. 2022.
I was about to say, that would have been like very recent. I was like, yeah.
2022.
Yeah.
I'm horrible with dates. My business partner says that all the time. I'm horrible with dates. 2022, we opened. And we noticed that the first thing that people bought in our store was these T-shirts that we had that had our logo and it had 24 New York on the back.
Okay.
And we're just like, yo, people's really going crazy over these T-shirts. Like we just was just like,
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. On to the next one. Yeah.
On to the next one.
Yeah.
And then we made this T-shirt, the one that you're wearing. And we're
Fire T-shirt, by the way.
Yeah.
You helped me pick it out yesterday. Great T-shirt.
Yeah. And then then that became the next big thing. And we were just like, okay, they're buying clothes from us at the same rate as they're buying sneakers. So how do we capitalize on that more?
Interesting. So that's funny how you didn't even come into it expecting to have this brand that people would want. The demand happened to be there, and then you just decided to lean more and cater into that. Because I feel like a lot of the times it's the reverse. People, they say, I want to sell a specific product, and they put the inventory out there, and then they try to have people come to it. So you didn't build it for them to come. They came, and then you decided to build into it, which I kind of like that a little bit. I've never heard of it happening the opposite way.
We just wanted to keep the name going somehow.
How did you come up with the name 24 New York? And then also even the logo, which I love the logo, which again, I even spoke about this in the episode where I wore the hat for the first time, because I was speaking with someone who, Femi, shout out Femi, he has a luxury fashion brand. And so we were speaking, having a general conversation about why you wear the brands that you wear. And I was saying,
remember that. Yep.
this is a sick logo with very cool items. And it's as simple as that. I like the logo, I like the items, and so I wear it. So how'd you come up with the logo? How'd you come up with the name?
So we started with the name first. We used to be called 24 Ball, right? And then I was just like, that can't transfer to everything and anything. So we just took off the ball and we were just like, make it 24 New York, okay? So when you hear the word 24 New York, the first thing that most people come to is, oh, it's the city that never sleeps. People's up 24 hours a day. Cool, that's your interpretation of it, which is what we love. Our reasoning behind it is, in our free throw contest, you had 24 seconds to make as many free throws as you can. That's the first pillar. The second thing, all three partners that's involved in 24 New York live in different parts of the country. So at one point in time, we're working 24 hours a day. Second pillar.
Okay.
Third thing is one partner's favorite player is Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
And when he passed away, his number was 24. It's three things. So you got three pillars. You also have three faces. The three faces represents each partner and kind of like their personality.
Okay, I'm good. Are you the goofy one on the right?
I'm always
okay.
Always a goofy one. But within the three faces, there's another layer of like something that's subliminal. If you take out all of the characteristics of the faces and there's just three circles, what does it remind you of?
Three circles. What does three circles remind me?
Just look at it, right? And take all the attributes of the faces out, and it's just the three circles as they are.
Hey, maybe someone in the audience who's listening might have a quicker answer. I'm blanking right now.
And when I say it, you're gonna be like,
yeah, I'm gonna be like, oh wait, hold on, give me another 5 seconds. Three circles. Damn, yeah, I got nothing.
Okay. Mickey Mouse.
Mickey. Okay.
One partner's favorite place to bring her kids is
Disney World. Wow. Okay. Wow. First of all, layers to that.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I literally thought of just the Kobe Bryant angle. I thought it was 24 because of Kobe, for Kobe.
And that's
tribute to Kobe.
Right.
And I didn't even think the 24 hours. I didn't even.
Most people think it's a Kobe Bryant store.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah.
We just put characteristics of Kobe Bryant in it because it's relatable. So it's like the way we think about it as, if we have a store and we have a brand that no one knows about, right? That's great that we had a free throw contest.
Yeah.
That's great that all the partners, live in different parts of the country. But what's the one thing that's relatable to everyone? Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant. Who is your favorite basketball player?
My favorite basketball player is Vince Carter.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because it was how he played with the tenacity and smoothness that he did. It was like there was no fear if he went up in the air in himself.
Yeah.
It was everybody else below him that was scared of it,
Mhm.
that didn't want that reaction.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah.
And so we talked about a little bit about how you saw people interested in the clothing, and so you decided we're going to lean into it.
Mhm.
From that moment of deciding, okay, we see that there is demand for this product, what then was the journey to having it be something scalable where it's like, okay, we're going to build a real streetwear brand? Talk me through what that process was like.
The first thing was we have to expand the brand to another store. So everything that we did is very strategic. Where we place the stores, the proximity to other stores. Is there anything like in the space that we're going to? So the first thing was find the next store location in New York City. And being in Hudson Yards is pretty. That's the first location, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah.
Well, we're skipping steps here.
Yeah. Our first location right out the gate is in Hudson Yards. If you're not familiar with New York, there's a place within the city on the west side of 34th Street called Hudson Yards. It's this $1 trillion establishment that is a full-fledged mall, and most people recognize it from the eggshell thing, which is called the Vessel, that sits in the middle of it. So that was our first place right out the gate, a high-end mall. We can't scale back and go to something less than that.
Yeah.
So we have to go to something else that is on the same level or more or above. So we got approached by Westfield Malls, which is the Oculus, which is downtown at the World Trade Center. They showed us the space. We were like, yep, let's do this. And the reason why we chose that one was Hudson Yards is the smaller store. And you've been to Oculus, which is a entirely bigger store. You can fit Hudson inside that store.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because I haven't seen the Hudson one.
Yeah.
And I assumed it was bigger, funny enough. I don't know why, but okay.
So you see progression now.
Mm-hmm.
You see the first
the
store,
growth, yeah.
And then you go to now a bigger store. Great, now you see the progression. And throughout the first year, that first T-shirt, the 3 faces here and 24 New York on the back, was the one thing that we had to keep in stock all the time. And then we finally branched into doing different colors, and then that helped. So now we can say that we're a worldwide brand. Why? Because tourists are coming into New York City mainly buying that T-shirt. Because they want a T-shirt about New York. They want an oversized T-shirt that's a street-style T-shirt. And they want to feel that they can wear it all the time. And that's what our shirt does.
Funny enough, when I was in the store yesterday, I was overhearing the conversations that were going on. And I believe both other customers in the store, one was from Arizona and the other was from, I forget where, but also from not New York. And I'm pretty sure they were also buying like the shirt with the 24 New York and with the logo on it. So it's funny how there's the things that you have obviously thought about that as someone who is not in the space, I'm not giving any thought to, but it makes sense that everything is that planned out and that thought out and that's strategic.
Because so many places that you go to, you don't really buy the merchandise from that state, right? Let's think about it. There's probably only 3 places that you'll do that in. It'll be Miami, LA, New York, that you would buy something that said Beverly Hills, California, Los Angeles, you know what I'm saying? Miami, like you're not going to Texas unless you're a Texas Longhorn fan buying something from Texas that says it, right?
Yeah.
And trying to wear it in a fashionable way.
Exactly. And a fashionable way is the key part.
Right.
Because we were literally in Mont Tremblant, my roommate got a hat that said Mont Tremblant. I'm like, that's just like the casual hat. He's not going to wear that when he's trying to throw a fit together. So that's a great, hey man, see, look at all these insights. I love the things are clicking for me right here.
Yeah.
And so we spoke a little bit about, so first store, second store growth, which even it's pretty cool that you were approached to have the store be in that location.
We did that in 6 months.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And so would you ever do a street front store or would it only be malls for you? Because I'm thinking of like a Soho where that's like Soho. That's a great.
We got approached.
Yeah, okay.
Here's why we wouldn't want to do Soho. Soho is a very oversaturated place. And where we find strength is being the single entity.
Okay.
So, yes, you have a lot of traffic there, but the brand has to be elevated even more so that people want to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Being in a mall and you're the only streetwear store in the mall, people are going to find it anyway, right? And when is there any other stores in here? Nope, just us. We now have power and leverage. We go to our own standalone. It's going to take a lot more work to get people in there.
Yeah, fair enough. That's again, okay, interesting. When you are thinking about what you want opening 2 stores up in 6 months, what is the thought process going into the next store? And this is me getting into more of the evolution of the brand. What do you think comes next?
I think the next thing, if we were to go to another store, obviously is to go outside of New York. And to keep the brand the same in what we do, clothing is what we do really, really well, but to maybe find another aspect to add to it, right? So we're kind of playing around with different places right now to go to, and what that second aspect can be. Because right now it's like sneakers and clothing, right? Those are the 2 aspects. Let's probably maneuver away from the sneakers and let's throw something else in. But we're still playing around.
Okay, so you're still thinking through what that next one would be like. What that next one would be.
Yeah.
As the brand has grown, who was one person or maybe a few people that you've seen where the brand where it's like, okay, this is kind of cool that my clothing has gotten in this person's hand and they're wearing it.
Okay, so the first person that wore our stuff that we were like, yo, this is different, was Breece Hall from the New York Jets.
Okay.
So, and he's worn it multiple times in different things. So he wore it in a brand ad that he already had. And we were just like, huh? Because people send it to us.
Yeah. Then
he wore it again on maybe like 3 weeks ago on no, I can't say 3 weeks ago. Before the Super Bowl, he wore it. But I think he was on live TV wearing it. And again, somebody sent it to us. I'm like, huh? So it was those 2 people. And then a bunch of Miami Heat players have worn it. He goes by 3J. He's worn our stuff a lot. Kobe Brown from the LA Clippers wears our stuff. We've just had we've had a lot of people wear the stuff, but those probably were the main 3 people that have worn it where we're like, huh?
Yeah, and speak more to that feeling of this thing that you've worked very hard on, seeing it be not being put in a way that is so prominent. And what does that feel like? Does that feel like you've succeeded? I know you definitely don't think like that, but you succeeded. But just like talk me through that, because it's even similar where like certain guests I might have on my podcast, people are like, "Oh, what does that feel like? Do you feel like you succeeded?" And my answer is no. Like there's still so much more to work to. But talk to me about what that experience is like and how there's that kind of different. Even bringing it back to the Beyonce thing earlier, where you're in this video, everyone thinks, oh, you've made it, but in reality, maybe not. So talk me through what that like difference in thought process is.
It validates your brand. It validates what we've done. It validates that people like it, right? You came into the store never knowing about it. One time you purchased something because you just liked it.
I do have a bad spending habit, but I did like the brand, yeah.
And it validated us that let's move forward.
Yeah.
We need to do more, and we need to figure out how do we now create clothing now that people really want, because people really like the hats. So what do? We
fire hat. Which are the pink ones in the store?
Yeah.
Oh, I must have missed it because I have that one but in blue.
Yeah, you got the royal blue one.
Yeah, and I want another. I almost bought one yesterday, but I must have missed that one.
Yeah.
If I saw the pink one, I would have bought the pink one. Okay.
And it was just like, how do we now create clothing that can be a statement piece? Which is right now one of the things that I'm wearing now. We're really big in tapestry, so I'm pretty sure this is a Rihanna tapestry crew neck that we have right now. This was one of the very first things that we ever got made and flew off the shelves immediately. So we're just always trying to create clothing that is different, that stands out, and that makes you ask a person where they got it.
Love that. Another key point, because even I'm someone who, and people definitely do this all the time. I remember literally walking down the street of New York to Decembers ago, and I saw there's this, and I actually need to hit this guy up again. He has a brand called All Love No Beef. But I just saw I saw him wearing a hoodie and a hat that said on All Love No Beef. And I walked up to him. I said, "Where'd you get that hat?" He was like, "Oh, it's my brand." We connected, and I bought it online.
Yeah.
And that power of where did you get this from? The power, the word of mouth will be so much more powerful than sometimes even maybe the biggest marketing campaign.
Yo, it's so true. Like that just sparked something where over the summer, somebody sent me a screenshot of somebody's story of who I don't know, but they saw our hat on the kid, and the kid was at a party in the Hamptons. And they were like, "Mike, that's your hat." I'm like,
yeah. We made it to the Hamptons.
Yeah, we made it in the Hamptons. Yeah.
What are getting more into your own personal style and your thought process behind creating new pieces? What would you say, even simple question, what do you think makes a good outfit? Simple question. Now, maybe not simple, but basic question.
What makes a good outfit? What makes a good outfit is the comfortability that the person wears it in. If I look at you and I can look at what you're wearing and be like, yeah, that's his style, or that's her style, that means it's a good outfit. If I look at a person and I'm just kind of like, not understanding what you was trying to do, you might understand it, but I don't. So it's just like, to me, I would just be like, I don't think that was the best outfit that represents you as a person.
Okay, and then how did your own personal style translate into the type of items that you put out and the different lines that you put out? Like, I just saw you put out a new, like, the brown focus, like it was a lot of
the luxury line.
Luxury line, yeah.
I worked with this designer named RJ Frazier back in the day, and RJ was on this trend at least 12 years ago. He said, "I'll never wear jeans again." And I'm like this. Huh? Like, what do you mean you'll never wear jeans again? He said, "It's just not comfortable." Mind you, I'm in jeans all the time, right? Yeah. And then I thought about it. I'm like, yo, I ain't wore jeans in 3.5 years.
I wore jeans last night.
Got jeans on now.
Now these are, yeah.
But it was something that is so comfortable that I can wear if I have a meeting, if I have to go out at night, if I got a DJ in it, if I got to take photos. It was just wear something that I can always just kind of like be so comfortable in.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'm not that comfortable in jeans because we all know this. You wash them, you dry them, they get super tight, then you got to get them to stretch back out again.
Yeah.
Sometimes you sit down and it's like mad tight on your waistband. Like, I just never wanted to feel that again. So I created my own aesthetic, and I've gone through different versions of it, but every year I'll change it.
Okay.
So one year I only wore black, white, and gray.
You need more color in your life, man. That's such
That was 1 year. That was 1 year. It was just black, white, and gray. And I got rid of everything that was color. Then another year, I just kind of went into like brighter stuff, colorful stuff. Today I'm obviously like way more colorful, but now like this year is all sand tones, neutral tones. So if you ever like see me sometimes in the store, I'm probably in something of the color of your t-shirt, literally top to bottom.
Yeah.
So now that's my thing this year.
And so you're right. Honestly, jeans are not that comfortable. And the more and more you think about it, when you think about it, for such a staple of an item that people, it's probably the most common type of pants. It's funny how uncomfortable they are. But I do like that in the last probably year or two or three, the trend has moved from, well, skinny jeans are definitely, as I'm wearing skinnier jeans, but I had like skinny jeans that I don't really wear anymore. They've definitely moved towards like baggier pants and more loose fitting pants, which I'm glad things have moved in that direction because it definitely is way more comfortable. So on that topic of fashion styles and trends coming in and out, what is a fashion trend that might be in right now that you're not necessarily feeling?
I think it looks really cool, which is, I call it the Burning Man post-apocalyptic look.
Okay, like a Kanye West type vibe?
Nah, it's darker than that.
Okay.
It's darker than that. Like the Kanye stuff is cool because I'm a fan and I've always been a fan of his fashion and what he's done.
Same.
But this look, and when I kind of describe it to you, you'll be like, yep. It's the super, super big jeans now, the super big cargo jeans with the platform boots, with the cropped hoodie and like the crop shirt.
Okay.
Everything is like recycled denim, or everything is like a Carhartt. It's just like that. Like it's like everything looked dusty.
Yeah.
everything looked like you've been rolling around in sand all day.
Yeah.
I think it looks cool, but everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I'm not too big into the flare right now.
Okay.
Because I just feel like they're not. Some flares are dope, but the majority of what I've seen is just like they're just like way too long, and they like drag on the floor and shit.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So it's just those are probably the two things.
Okay. Fair enough. It's for one, I think, and another fashion one. Because when me and my roommates we went out either last night or 2 weeks ago, and we noticed that.
Wait. You don't know if you went out last night or 2 weeks ago?
No. I'm trying to think of when we had this comment and when we had this conversation. Is with the one statement piece that most girls have, the black leather jacket. That is their statement piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think is the equivalent for guys? Because we were trying to think about it. We're like, okay, literally, you look up 95% of girls are wearing this black leather jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a similar statement piece for guys where it's like, okay, everyone has this in the closet. You look up on a night out, every guy's wearing this.
Yeah. That's very easy, and it's a hat.
But that's such a...
Yeah. Think about it, man.
But hat's such a standard, or maybe this is me even answering the question, but I feel like a hat is so like, it's a hat.
Right. It's a hat, but think about a lot of the times when someone's interested in you, right? Male, female, whatever, they'll tell you, take your hat off. I want to see your hair.
Someone has said that to you? Who? What?
Yeah, because they're always seeing me with a hat. They always see me with a beanie. They always see me with something. Even when I teach in class, I wear a bandana. So it's like when you take your hat off and they see your actual hair, they're like, "Oh, I didn't think you had any hair."
Yeah.
So I think it's the hat. I mean, hoodies is universal. Everybody wears it. Everybody steals them. Like it don't matter who's got it.
Yeah.
A hoodie is like super like universal and like a unisex item.
Yeah.
But I think hats are the thing that would be like the guy's like biker jacket.
Fair enough. I'll take it. I'll make this a clip and see what the people think.
Mm-hmm.
But so transitioning now past the brand and past the fashion, you also hosted a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Tell the people what that was about.
Yeah. So hosted a podcast under Gary V's one of his companies called 1:37 p.m. and it was called Bold Entrepreneurs. And it was mainly social media based in YouTube, where we took the style of what Hot Ones is, and we did it over a bowl of cereal. Hence the word bold entrepreneurs.
Was that also supposed to be a play on words for like bold, BOLD entrepreneurs?
He caught on.
Hey man, I'm not gonna say the school I went to. You guys you'll make fun.
We know them. We are very well aware of what those schools are. We wanted to create a fun show that brought back nostalgia with the type of questioning, the set, the cereal, kind of like that Saturday morning cartoons feel.
Okay. And even initial question, how did that connection even happen to get that opportunity to do the show?
Yeah. Good old Hudson Yards again. So his office is upstairs in the corporate buildings, and his what is Ash's title? Let's just say Ash is the like director of talent.
Okay.
Right. She was walking. Most of them come down into the mall to go to lunch usually. So she walked by and was just like, "What is this store?" I wasn't there. This happens a few more times. Another guy, great friend now, named Arden Franklin, he comes in there. Me and him have a connection. And he works up there too at the same company.
Yeah.
And he's so our name is floating around this office, but nobody's been to the store downstairs.
Yeah.
So Ash comes back downstairs again one day for the final time where I actually meet her, and I pitch her right there. I said, "Look, I don't know what you guys are working on up there. I'm not familiar, but this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to either build a show or become a part of a show. This is my skill set. This is what I've done, blah, 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 blah." And she just looked at me and was just like this. Huh. I was like this. Oh, shit.
Like, is it working? Is it working?
I was like this. The audacity? She called me a week later.
Wow.
She called me a week later to come in and do a test just like this,
Mm-hmm.
where the potential host was the CEO of the company.
Wow.
So that was good. Shout out to Ryan Harwood. And then the creative director, Derek Siskin, he kind of just saw something in me. And he was like, I think that's the guy.
I love that. You just shot your shot and that worked out. I love that. I love that. That's such a, I got to talk to you after. I got some ideas to send your way to try to manifest. Cause I mean, it's exactly what I'm trying to do, go with the flow, trying to build something, trying to scale something, trying to, we'll chat more offline. What did you learn from doing that experience?
It taught me two things. One, before it happened, and then during, is that sometimes the thing that you're looking for is just one conversation away.
I love that.
It really is. You can just say something to the right person, and they may just take it, just put it in the pocket.
Yeah.
And they know the person that they need to contact. They just can't contact them at that moment.
Yeah.
And then just go, oh, yo, I think that's great. And then before you know, something might happen. The second thing is being a host, as you know, is that your intention to listening becomes super aware. You have to listen so much. I did so many interviews where I caught myself zoning in and out, and it made the process feel longer because you're trying to mentally catch back up in real time, but not look like you zoned out.
Yeah, that's a great point there, because I still, not that I do that often, but that still will happen where in the middle of a conversation, you blank. I'm trying to, because I have a kind of the path that I want the path that I want the show to go in, and so I'm trying to have the next question ready to go, and then I hear something you say, and then I completely forget it, and then in trying to respond, I forget there's so much to this that doesn't go appreciated, which is why even last night at dinner, one of my friends was like, oh, when I listen to your podcast, I don't think I could do that because you do it so well. Like, those compliments really mean a lot, because it's not as easy. Even if you're a natural people person and a natural speaker, this shit's not easy.
It's not, because people don't understand that you're driving the conversation without people knowing.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, I got my notes here all the time. Like, there's a whole.
He got a laptop.
Yes.
I didn't have no. I had to hide my shit. Like, I had to hide my cue cards behind like the bowl.
Why? Did they say you had to?
Not that they said they had to. It's just that the style of what we were doing it at, there were so many questions, and we wanted the set to be very clean.
Fair.
And we got bowls of cereal, we got milk, and then all of a sudden a big old laptop over here.
Yeah.
Think about it. If it's a nostalgic thing, there were no laptops.
Fair.
So,
but I'm trying to think, there has to be a workable, that's besides.
But I wanted to use cue cards, and this goes back to just me writing and being in school and doing, interviews and stuff, is that when I write it, I know the flow of how it's going to go. It just helps me remember it better. And, but yeah, people don't understand of how sometimes to direct a conversation, because they just think we just talking. Yeah. And the conversation is just coming about.
And there's no prep. And as much as the name of the show is Go With The Flow, and I'm not just going off the cuff, there's a
full
there's planning. There's planning that goes into this.
Yeah.
There's detailed research, although in this case, I didn't do great research for you, but usually I do much better research.
Yeah. And I think that doing Bold Entrepreneurs and having the opportunity to do that show, it allowed me to talk to people that I've wanted to speak to. And it allowed me to gain relationships and connections with people that are helpful.
Yeah. Did you have to find the guests yourself, or was there a team helping you with that? How big was the team, I guess, is the
our team was 5 people.
See, it's again a very professional production. I was watching the YouTube video. I was like, again, this looks. You could put this up next to Hot Ones, and you can't tell the difference between the quality. It's very, very well done.
We had Derek Siskin as creative director. We had Zach Nelson, who was like main videographer. We had Crispy. We had Benji, who were first and second videographers. And then the editors.
Yeah, it's again the whole production.
So I was fortunate to be able to come in and just be the talent.
Which is the goal with Go With The Flow, because right now I'm doing everything.
But everyone had a very key role. Like Derek and I would go through, we would probably have a 5-page synopsis on each guest.
Mm-hmm.
And in all of those 5 questions, and on those 5 pages, we had all questions and potential answers that they might say.
Yeah.
And how to counter the question if they didn't want to talk about this. It was like full detail.
Interesting. You got to plan that much. Because even, I would say, as much as I plan, I'm not planning for every possible answer. And so there's times when people might answer things in a different way, and you do have to go with the flow. But interesting. I didn't know how much that it was that detailed of preparation.
Yeah, we went pretty detailed. And then when the show ended, certain deals happened where it got put in like previews at movie theaters. It got put on JetBlue Airways as like when you're sitting on the plane and there's just like TVs on there. So
that's pretty dope.
It was pretty cool to see kind of like where it goes. And some of the favorite guests I had on there was Matt Choi, JoJo Simmons, Julio G, aka the Hooligan, who's a dope DJ, and Max Siegelman.
Yeah, and even though the show ended, you still got
and Victoria Van Ness, who owns Amber Club. She was my very first interview and my most memorable one.
Nice. And even though the show ended, you still got so much out of the experience. Where again, I love the mindset of there's everything in life is a lesson, and you're just gonna grow from it. And there's gonna be so much experience. So looking back in the past, even make it 5-10 years. Honestly, even all the way back since you've graduated college, you've taken more of the entrepreneurial path. You've taken less of the, I'm going to go less conventional. You're not in corporate America. You didn't go down that path.
Yeah.
What would you say has kind of been what has kept you going at the times when things seem a little bit uncertain? Because the reason that people do the corporate life, the comfortable, is the predictability and the comfort. What would you say kind of has kept you going in the times when things were a little bit less certain?
Matthew McConaughey had a commemorative speech out of college.
Oh, I thought you were about to reference his Oscar speech, which was going to be crazy because that just came up.
But that was the first thing I saw was the commemorative speech. And then it was
the Oscar speech.
Speech.
It's so. Sorry, I'll let you finish that.
And we'll see if we're on the same wave.
Yeah.
And it's being in the same place every single year. That is the thing that scares the hell out of me. Is if I come back around 365 and I'm in the same exact position, it shows that I might not have grown the way that I thought. I didn't take the risk that I should have taken. And that I was very content in being whatever place that I was in, that I just want to stay there.
Yeah.
That scares me all the time. So that's what keeps me going.
Okay. And so similarly, in the Oscar speech, it's basically kind of the same point where he mentioned how his role model and who he's aspiring to be is himself 10 years in the future. So it's basically very related. And Jay Shetty came and did a talk at work the other day. And so he referenced that speech and Steve Jobs' Stanford commencement speech. What's the word? Commencement speech. And so I've listened to both those speeches like 5 times in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
And I love one in Steve Jobs' speech. One of my favorite parts about it is him saying that you can't connect the dots going forward. You can only connect the dots going backwards. And so wherever you are in your life, just trust the path that you're on, because things won't make sense in the moment. But when you look back, you're this is why this didn't happen. So I love that part of it. And then the part from Matthew McConaughey where he was like, my role model is myself 10 years in the future. That's who I'm aspiring to be. And I'll never beat that person because there's always more that I'm evolving and inspiring. And that shit is it's inspiring, man.
It is.
And so as you've gone through your journey, what do you think is you already spoke about what's next for the brand, but personally, what are kind of some of the bigger goals that you have for yourself?
That's the part now where I'm in the trenches with, right? Is I've had a podcast, great. I want another one. But it's like, what is it going to be about? That's always my thing. Like, what is it going to be about? And if it's not a conversation that is like true to me, I don't necessarily want to do it. It's finding out how do I take all of my experience in whether it's running a business, running a brand, being on camera, doing those kind of things, and streamlining it into one area. So So yeah, we're still working on it.
Hey man, you want to start a podcast? There's a great studio for you right here. Shout out WTF Media.
And this is my first time here, and watching yours, I was like, yo, where is that?
Yeah.
And whenever somebody says Canal Show, I'm like, where on is it between the two Louis Vuitton bags?
It is a very unsuspecting location. And they just opened up a spot in Midtown too. Look at me doing free press for the
Y'all better get this man free time.
Like, hey man, give me a couple free studio sessions. But no, we are coming up. Remy, what are we, like 55 minutes in?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
56.
And so that'll bring us to the last two segments that I do on every episode.
Mhm.
First one, I have my guests come up with 5 songs that describe who they are as a person,
Mhm.
and tell me the song and tell me the reason why. I love it because, one, puts me on to new music.
Yeah.
Everyone takes it in their own different direction, and it's just a good way to hear about how people think about themselves. So
Yeah.
I'll have you go through each song and then say the reason you chose it.
So the first song is Optimistic by Sounds of Blackness. This was a song that I used to hear all the time in the car with my mom, and it gave me church and gospel vibes with R&B mixed into it. And then the messaging in it always touches me in like a special way. The second one is Man in the Mirror, Michael Jackson. Because I think all of us, man or woman, we go through a period of time where we look at ourselves in that mirror and we desperately are seeking change. And we're fighting so much to make the change. And as the song continues, you hear the crescendos get higher and higher and higher, speaking for change, wanting change, wanting change, wanting change. So that's that one.
I never thought about it. This man's poetic.
Great is Your Mercy by Donnie McClurkin. It's a gospel song. And the reason why I just like this song is maybe not connected to the spirituality of God, but it's the different ways of, he had different artists come in and sing the same line different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that was really cool. He had about like 7 different people do it.
Wow.
And that was pretty cool. And now we move into my favorite kind of music, which is like Afro House.
Okay.
So
Afro House. What is Afro House?
Yeah. You Nigerian, you don't know Afro House?
I mean, I know Afro beats. What?
Right, I'll put you on.
Yeah, about yeah.
So there's a song called The Akan, and it's by this DJ named Cairo. It's a song I use in like my classes, and it's a song that I also use like when I DJ clubs and stuff. It's just something that gets me, like, if I need that little bump, I'm gonna play
That's
that.
what you go to.
Yeah. And the last one is Drake, Look What You've Done. I think it's the way that Drake was able to rap in a way as if he was writing in a composition notebook that spoke to me. That's how I interpreted it. And most people know the song now because of that was the first song that he did in his last tour.
Okay, got it. And even so, we're speaking about this right before the episode started about Michael Jackson. We were talking about MJ the Musical. And then you asked me if I...
We Are the World.
We Are the World, yeah. He thought I didn't know this song, We Are the World.
Yo, you gotta ask nowadays, because people don't be knowing.
I was like, that was one of the most popular songs ever made. They redid it after the Haiti earthquake. So I'm like, yeah, I'm 24, but I'm not, like, I know.
You be shocked, man.
I know some stuff.
You know you be watching the joints on Instagram when the dude be like, hey, what's 1 + 1? And they be confused. I gotta ask.
But I mean, funny enough, different generations. Because question for you: have you seen that video where they interview the kids playing basketball, and they're like, "Who comes to mind when you say the name Melo?" And the younger kids are like LaMelo Ball, and then some people, like parents are saying Carmelo Anthony. So I think there is always that expectations of differences in the generations, but I like to think I'm a knowledgeable enough individual.
I saw another video where it was about generational thing, and it said, and I'll do it with you. If you had to gesture what taking a picture would look like, how would you do it?
Because I would do like that.
See?
And you would do like, I like that. Okay, yeah, okay. And I saw one where it was like, oh, like if you were to gesture making a phone call, what would you do? Which for me, right. But some people, it's like that. Interesting. Okay, so then the very last, which honestly, damn, I actually kind of previewed this a little. Yeah, so let me ask the question. I read this wonderful article. It was where they interviewed people in their early 20s and asked them to manifest their life 10 years in the future to the most specific detail possible. Where are you living? What are you doing? how many vacations a year, blah, blah, blah. And then there was an added component of them calculating how much it would cost to actually live that life. I love the first part of it and just the idea of manifesting your life in the future and trying to just picture where you want to be. I know that you just said that you're trying to figure it out, but if Mike Press, 10 years in the future, if you could be ideally at a certain place, what would your life look like at that point?
10 years from now, I'd be 48. I would obviously want to be able to, just as everybody else would probably would say, make your own schedule and move as you would like to move. But I would like to be able to work anywhere that I choose to. So that means if I choose to be in St. Bart's and I'm working there, I can choose to do that. If I want to go and be in Scottsdale, Arizona and work, I can do that. I don't want whatever work I'm doing has to keep me complacent to one place.
Yeah. I like that. And again, another question I like because people take it in such different directions. Everyone has their own way of interpreting it. But I mean, this has been a fun episode. Yeah. I appreciate you coming on from literally just an Instagram DM. You didn't know me from anywhere, but you took a chance. You said, "I'll come on, go with the flow."
Go and say it.
Came on.
You slid in.
I slid. No. I'm not doing all that. Not doing all that.
Slid in and told me where he went to college, and that's what got me.
Hey man, that's funny. But no, I appreciate you coming on. Do you have any final words for the people? Leave us with a message.
I'll do two things. You can find me on the socials at I'm Mike Press, as well as the store at 24 New York, all words. And I think the thing that I will leave anyone watching this podcast is that you are one conversation away from getting to where it is that you're trying to be.
I love that. I couldn't agree more with that. The power of being proactive. Things as much as you want change to happen in your life, you can't just sit on your ass and think it'll happen. You actually need to go out there and try to make it happen. So I love that. If there's a conversation or a text or a DM that you've been meaning to send, let this be your inspiration to send it, because it just might change your life. It just might change your life. Wow. Great episode.
Thank you,
Mike Press. Thank you for coming on. This has been another episode of Go With The Flow. Thank you for listening.